wanted to talk to you guys about random acts of kindness. Those are actually some of my favorite videos to watch on YouTube. Even though I watch them and I cry like a baby, I do. I'm super sensitive, so I cry like a baby. But I wanted to talk to you guys about random acts of kindness because I don't think that that's spoken about enough. We can talk about the darkest things, the most gloomiest things all the time, but random acts of kindness, that needs to be more highlighted. And when I say random acts of kindness, I mean doing things for people with no intention of receiving anything in return. I think that is so important in this world right now, because sometimes people do things with the intentions of getting something in return, and if they do not receive something in return, they just won't do a kind act. Please guys, do something today. I prefer it if it's every day, but if nothing else, just choose a day. Do something kind for someone, if you please. You know, if you're in line in a grocery store, someone has one item and they're behind you and you have a whole shopping cart, please let them go before you. It's not going to hurt. If you see someone out there who you feel you can help them by paying for their groceries, and I know that sounds like a lot, but what if someone has 4 or 5 items? What if it's someone that's elderly? Just pay for those items. I feel like the Most High will pay it back to you tenfold. I feel like you will be blessed by showing acts of kindness. And please, please do not do acts of kindness with the intent of receiving it back. Please just do it out of the kindness of your heart. You know, give your seat to someone elderly. Give your seat to someone who's pregnant. And it's not just for females. There are elderly males out there. There are handicapped males out there. Be kind. Just show them some kindness. Be kind to animals. Be kind to animals for no reason. There are homeless animals. There are homeless people. Give them something. Give them something to eat. Give them $1. Give them a cup of coffee. Give them a meal. Give them a hug. And I know the hug may be a stretch because you may be uncomfortable with that. I understand. But if you're uncomfortable with that, then just stop and say hello. Stop and say you can make it, or have a good day. The smallest gestures does matter. You know, acts of kindness is really what can help raise the vibration on this planet. We all have the responsibility to raise the vibration on this planet, but it is free will. So much of us nowadays focus on the things that we can do to gain something. How can you get more money? How can you get more notoriety? And sometimes that should not be the catalyst to everything that you do. Sometimes you should just want to do things just to do things. And sometimes you have to just do things from the heart. Sometimes you have to just let your heart lead the way. You know, help someone across the street. The littlest things really and truly matter. You never know what someone else is going through, and you never know what that act of kindness can do for them. You know, when I'm watching those acts of kindness videos, and I just see sometimes people do certain things for people, and I see the emotion in them, which of course brings out the emotion in me, and it makes me want to do acts of kindness myself even more. You know, it's all about what you do when no one's looking. People can always do something and want to record it and then put it on a platform and receive monetary gain from it. And I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because it's not my place to judge if that's right or wrong. But what about the moments when no one's looking? What about the moments when you come out of a store and you see someone who's blind, but they are out there in the heat playing an instrument with a hat, you know, for you to possibly give them a tip, and you walk right on by? And I know nowadays sometimes you don't tip because we all walk around with, you know, debit cards or credit cards. Very seldomly do we walk around with cash nowadays. But when you were going inside that store, you saw that person out there. You know it's hot outside, or even worse, you know it's cold outside. Just ask for some change when you get your change back. You never know if that person is out there playing that instrument so they can have something to eat that night. You know, people love to shame people who struggle. You know, people love to shame people who don't have much money, or, you know, don't have sufficient housing, or just don't have enough food. It's unfortunate, but there are cruel people that will actually try to shame you for not having much. But instead of trying to shame someone, why don't you guys dig within your heart, and instead of shame, help someone with no intentions. You don't have to help someone and record it, because to a certain degree I don't believe in that, because I feel like that's a tad bit like exploitive. So I don't really believe in doing acts of kindness and recording it, because in my personal opinion sometimes it almost feels like it's being done. So once you put it on a platform, then you receive recognition from other people. So then it kind of makes me wonder your intent. You know, was it really to help someone, or was it to get notoriety for yourself? And sometimes it is genuine, and sometimes unfortunately it's not. But please guys, just think of the smallest things you can think of. The smallest things that you can think of. Tie someone's shoe for them. Help someone across the street. You know, the smallest, simplest thing. Say good morning to someone. It's funny because if you look around nowadays, we rarely speak to people. I know I have lived in places before to where neighbors, you know, you don't even speak to your own neighbor, and you can live there for 4, 5, 10 years. You don't even know your neighbor's name. You don't even say hello. You don't even say good morning. I know I'm kind of old school, so I'm used to things a certain way, like especially like in the South. Even though I didn't grow up in the South, I grew up in New York, but like in the South, people wave even if they don't know you. They say good morning even if they don't know you. They tend to be a little more friendly from my experience. That'd be great if we all would remember a simple good morning might change somebody's day. A simple hello might change somebody's day. It may make them, if they're having like a bad morning, maybe that good morning will make them smile. Maybe it'll turn their morning around. Maybe it'll get them out of their funk. Maybe it's someone who's lonely, and just saying good morning to them will change something in them. You just never know the things that you do, how it will affect other people, what it will do for them. You may put a smile on someone's face. You just never know the effect that you'll have on someone. So I would love to ask anyone who can hear the sound of my voice, anyone who listens to this video, just for no reason at all, do something kind. Maybe that'll catch on. Maybe that'll be a new thing. Just do something kind for no reason. And don't even take your phone out to record it. Just walk away with those goosebumps, knowing and feeling like that was the right thing to do. Knowing and feeling like that's okay. Hold the door for someone. And let me be clear, because sometimes you do acts of kindness for people and sometimes they just don't receive it well. But guess what? That's okay as well. Even that is okay as well. Because sometimes people are not used to being treated kindly, so they don't really know how to react to that. Sometimes people just do not know how to reciprocate. But please do not let that stop you from being a kind-hearted person. Please do not let that stop you from doing kind things for no reason. Please do not let that stop you from showing love, showing compassion, and showing kindness. I am trying my best with everything in me to just do my part in raising a vibration on this planet. There's so many of us out here, and if each one of us do our part, I just feel like we can just make such a big change. We can just make things so different. It doesn't have to be this cruel out here. People don't always have to just focus on themselves and what works for them, what can they benefit. It doesn't have to be this way. We choose for it to be this way. So please guys, do something nice for someone for no reason. You know, do something, give somebody a ride, pay for someone's gas, you know. And like I said, I know these things sound crazy, but it's actually not, because the majority of us out here, we do have a few dollars to spare. And I don't care if we are struggling ourselves, we still have a few dollars to spare. Whatever situation that you're in, there's always someone else who's in a worse situation. you know? Please do not be one of those individuals who highlight someone's misfortune and make a mockery of someone's misfortune. Please band together and let's be the ones who help someone who's going through misfortune. Help someone who's going through a rough time. Help someone who's struggling. You just never know what the Most High will do to bless you for that. And please don't do it for that reason. I'll say that again, because you can't hide anything from the Most High. You know that. Your intentions, you can't hide your intentions from the Most High. But just do it just because. Just do it just because. Give somebody a hug. Kiss somebody on the forehead. Shake somebody's hand. Just do these things just because. We're not crazy if we want to change the world for the better. We're not crazy if we choose to focus more on positive than negative. We're not crazy for that. I think it's actually a beautiful thing. I try my best to be as kind as I can, as much as I can. I've learned to stop being low vibrational. I work on that every single day, and I'm not crazy for that. And neither are you.